Gudaha labada safiir Pastor midowga Yurub iyo safiirka dalka Sweden xeer ilaaliyaha guud madaxda hay'adda UNSOM oo ka wakiila Jamaacadda Qormaha ka dhaxaysa hay'adda UNDP Tom oo ah sarkaalka in nagala shaqeeya arrimaha ciidamada booliiska iyo ciidamada kalaba generaalada taliyaasha ciidamada gudoomiyaha hay'adda xuquuqul insaanka xubnaha wasaaradda dakhliga ee shirka fadhiya. Assalaamu calaykum waraxmatullaahi wabarakaatuh. I would like first of all to thank for the two ambassadors of the EU, European Union, and ambassador of the Swedish government who very much work with the Somaliland government and who were participating in many events of developmental programs in the Somaliland government. In this occasion, we are signing today this project of the rule of law, and as the ministers and the two ambassadors said, this is the base of the governance of Somaliland and anywhere in the world. If you have a security, then you will have a good governance working in every area. As you know, the two ambassadors are not new to Somaliland affairs, is that the Somaliland government, it spends almost 40% of its budget with the security organs of Somaliland. And as they say, where there is water, there is life. Where there is security, there is an working institutions of the government. And in our location as Somaliland government, we share borders with Djibouti, with Ethiopia, and with Somalia. And we have almost something like 850 kilometers of coastline. We are facing mainly the Gulf of Aden. The main area that we have got that border of the coast is the Yemen. And we know the turmoil what's going on in Yemen. All terrorist activities, they come to Yemen. We assure the border of Ethiopia and Somalia, which is close to Somaliland and Ethiopia, which is close to 1,000 kilometers. And we have something the same almost border with Somalia, with the member state of Somalia, Puntland. We have working with the Ethiopian government in terms of the security. Our security organs are working together. The police of Ethiopia is working with our police, the immigration, the national army. We have got a constant meetings and we are working together. But we don't have any partner with the Somali government. And the area, the effort and the operations and the management and the basis of the terrorists is mainly concentrated in Somalia. It's about 40 kilometers from Bosaso, so we always get penetrations of these terrorists from that area. I think for the last month or 2 months, we have so many deadly operations and members of the Al-Shabaab that our police force and the immigration force, they succeeded to capture these terrorist groups. We have also something close to 100 cases of terrorist activities in which our judicial organs, the Attorney General and the courts have already sentenced them here in the Somaliland prisons. You know, about a week ago, the regional church court have been exploded by his car with a bomb in Lasanot with a bomb. And that indicates the activities and the movements of the terrorist activities. Now, we get support for our police. We may not give a long list, but it's very important to note that in the terrorist activities, there was only the UK government who was supporting the CTU counter-terrorist unit and the two terrorist unities of the RRU and the SPU. So the support of the UK government is going to be finished by 31st March of this year. Of this year. So I think it is Ambassador, it's waiting the EU member states, including the EU ambassador, in order to substitute the aid of the UK government for the terrorist unities of Somaliland. And I think, as I have said, this long border with Ethiopia and with Somalia, in which you know, and you came from Mogadishu, how deadly movement of the terrorists is going on in Somalia, is that we were for a long time asking for the European Union and non-member states of the EU to have Somaliland an expansion of the SPU and the RRU. It's very important for the time being. And I think we will discuss and we'll submit our list and our requirements after we sign this ceremony. But I will only say this is a very comprehensive project in which all members of the security forces, the Ministry of Justice, I'm sorry to say that the Chief Justice was not present, and he sent us a message that he was busy with something very busy with the courts. So the courts, the human rights, the Minister of Parliamentary and Judicial Affairs of Somaliland, and the Minister of Interior, this is a comprehensive project in which it is involved in all institutions and government ministries and security forces in which we are working with the security. And the Somaliland government, as the ambassador said, was working with the United Nations and with the European Union for the last 25, 27 years. And we will remain that we are working with the standards of these organizations. But we have to know one thing, that until such time we reinforce the security of Somaliland, it will be very difficult to overcome the activities of the terrorism activities. We thank very much for this project. We believe that it will do a lot for the concerned organizations and the judiciary organ, that it will do something about the development and the sustainability of the security of the country. Well, thank you very much, and especially for the Swedish government in supporting with the EU CAP, with our coastal guard. But still, we remain asking that the coastal guard is, and it is small boats, it will be very, very, very difficult for them to operate from the border of Djibouti almost to Bosaso. We've got 8 kilometers from Bosaso, our border, to Djibouti. So now we have, I think, something like close to 20 boats carrying ammunition and guns. We have captured them in the coast. Yeah. So we thank you very much. You know, the minister, what he said, if the baby is delayed by born, sometimes in the Somali culture we have a woman which is going to have pregnant for 12 months, for 15 months. For the normal circumstances of a baby born in this time, we have a ceremony. But when the baby is delayed, we have 2 sermons. So the minister said this project has been delayed for 2 years, so now we need 2 sermons. We thank very much, and we work closely with the Minister of National planning, for the coordination of these projects. We'll be working with your organization, Simon, the UNSOM, the UNDP, and we will remain working with them. So this organization, including the Human Rights Commission, they are working together. We have got a very big training with the police rank and file, with the immigration, and with the human rights. And we are trying to keep the sustainability of these trainings in order to train our young officers for learning them about the issues of the human rights. Now we are in the process of developing the women in the police. We have got a very good number, including officers. So we are now going to deploy them in the different departments of the police. So this deployment of the police, I think we need a special approach for enhancing their training and their program so that they could be, now they are within the police, but we want to strengthen them, the women activity in the police. We are now training cadet officers of the police and the army in the Army Academy. They are doing very good, including and also in this activity of the anti-terrorist organism. The Department of the Immigration needs to be reinforced in immigration posts, in equipment and so on. Now they have got almost a good number of immigration posts. So, one thing I think I will conclude with one thing is that Berbera in history was in a very long time was a hub in human trafficking in the about 200 300 and 400 years. So we have this problem of human trafficking within the borders of the neighbor countries. So that's why we need that to enforce the immigration department, We thank you very much for the support, and personally for the two ambassadors. They are very closely working with the Somaliland government. They are spending a very good time of their time in Somaliland, in the Coastal Guard, in the immigration, in the Minister of Justice, Custodial Guard, Minister of Interior, with this Minister and Police Forces. We will be working with you, and we thank you very much. Thank you.